Certainly disappointed. We don't like to lose here. We don't like to lose in general, but we don't like to lose here. Give them credit. We played into their strengths a lot of time. I think we lacked a little personality in the first half. The subs came in and did a good job, and we, ended up putting overall a pretty good performance, but we just didn't make the plays that mattered on both ends. You gave them two turnovers led to goals, and we just didn't see out some of our looks or chances on the other end. So, that's probably about it. Looking at the stats, pretty even game, and they seem to again they press well. They're a much better team than last year. I give them some credit. They've picked up some real nice pieces, and they're going to be a handful. But it doesn't matter. We should still find a way to win the game, and we kind of found a way to lose the game.
Hey, Coach, tough loss tonight. It was pretty apparent one of the goals tonight and last weekend was sparked by a giveaway in the midfield. How can that be fixed, given that the next two matches in Conca Champions and MLS are great attacking sides?
Well, we're going to continue to try to play. We're committed to playing through the midfield, but we have to do it at the right times. And again, I think at times we didn't do it enough, and we have to stick to what we do. And if teams want to stop that, we have solutions in other places. And we just didn't kind of have those solutions enough tonight. But again, I think it's going to be one of those games when I watch back, it's probably a little better than I thought. I think right now, just because of the loss. And there's probably a lot of good things. And again, we have to understand as well. We've had a lot of games, and there's plenty of excuses we can look to. And we got some guys out, and we're still building relationships, all this stuff. But there's still enough in that locker room to win games at home. And we showed that the other night against St. Louis, and we showed that against KC as far as the performance. So, we'll continue to play, I guess, is the short answer, and that's some of these relationships are building.
Hey, Ben, Archer's giveaway that led to their second goal, we've seen a few giveaways, Brooklyn's against St. Louis. Is that just early season things, or, what do you can see to clean stuff like that up?
Well, it's kind of blasphemous to say anything about Artur right now. He's been maybe one of the best players we've had for a year and a half, and I think that's his first mistake, so we'll give him a pass. And, Brooklyn's learning his craft, and he's doing it right in front of our eyes. And that doesn't mean it always goes according to plan, and that's okay. That's development too. And, going against being in the midfield against the Red Bull defense is very, very difficult. Things happen quick, and that's a learning lesson for him tonight. But it's we got to keep pushing the midfield. We're going to continue to do it, and we're going to continue to lose balls in there. It's the nature of how we're going to play. But we have to, fix some of those, of course. But also now, if teams are going to take certain things away, we have to make sure we're punishing them in some of the areas that we've designed to hurt them, and not take the option if it's not the right time. So that's kind of part of this growth that we're kind of going through. Again, Jan, Artur, and Jan and Brooklyn. This is all new stuff for these guys. It's not as well oiled as it when Hector or these guys are in there, and Amin, and so we'll start getting some guys back. I thought Amin looked really good, and Franco. Franco brings personality, and I think that's what that game needed. He's not 90 minutes fit yet. But he's pretty. He's getting closer and closer, and as we get these guys back, hopefully, we're able to have more quality in and around the goal and builds and all that comes along with this. But overall, it wasn't a terrible game. We just kind of shot ourselves in the foot.
Hey Ben, another game where Aliyu is a positive out on the extremes, like on the wing. Whenever you move him centrally, what would you like him to do? And do you feel that he's doing what you want him to do once you put him more centrally as the 9?
I think he's a wide player that can play the 9 at times. The more I see him, the more I like him out wide. And but I don't have any other forwards right now. So there's also things what we have to do as coaches when you have some situations that, I thought Gabe was, okay today. I think he's, he back-to-back games, and it was a little bit a tall ask for him, and we wanted some pace, get behind, but we also want some hold-up play. You can't just always push the line, and, you have to be available underneath, and I actually think he had a good game. I thought he had a good game out wide, and even up top he gave us, he's a handful.
Hey, Coach.
Go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off,
It's
Samara over here. Yeah, barely second game in the season. What are some of the positives out of this match?
Well, every time I look at the, for whatever this data's worth, it's not worth, there's a lot of good stuff. And I said it before, there's some new relationships building out there. There's some new guys being put in place. And that takes some time. But what we're doing here and what we're trying to teach, we're seeing on the field, whether it's Brooklyn or Jan or Tate Schmidt or Gabe Siegel. We're seeing some of the things that we want to see. We're creating chances, and we're building the game in the right way. So there's a lot of positives, but it doesn't really feel like it when you only get 1 point out of 2 home games. But again, I think this is going to be, it's going to be a little patchy. We've anticipated that we're going to have some ups and downs over the next few weeks to a month, and we just got to also, again, I keep going back to personality and winning games, and that was lacking a little bit today. And I think once Bossi came in and Franco came in, I think you saw a little bit more of that. And hopefully we have more of that to come. We got a neat opportunity here this week against Columbus, against a very good team. So we'll be tested again. So we'll be disappointed tonight and certainly tomorrow. Will ruin my Sunday, but we'll get back to work Monday and focus on Columbus and trying to advance in an important tournament, and then we'll get back to the league after that.
Hey, Coach, is it a little different to prepare for an Eastern Conference team than a Western Conference team that you see maybe twice or 3 times?
We're pretty, for the most part, we're pretty well versed in Red Bulls. I've gone against them a few times in D.C. For 10 years. Aurelian, our assistant coach, played for Red Bulls, and we've got some German staff. They're pretty well versed in what they do. Again, it's very, very difficult to stop, and in particular if you play into their hands and you some of the pressing that they do it's difficult, causes some problems. No, it wasn't difficult in that sense. There's some other teams that we haven't seen for a while that maybe we have to watch an extra game or two to get a feel of, but. They do what they do. Forsberg's a real player. You can tell he's a big time player. They're a better team. They're a better team, and I think they're going to be a handful this year. So that was definitely our best test of the year. And overall, we stood up against it, but didn't make the plays that mattered.
Coach, good evening. Thanks for your time. You just mentioned Emil Forsberg. Expand a little bit more on what you saw from him. Obviously, he's a quality player, like you mentioned.
Yeah, he's in that upper echelon of talent that teams are bringing into this league, and they do everything. They can score, they can pass, they're athletically gifted and up to the speed of the league. I mean, he's playing in Germany and for a long time, and so I don't think this league's you know, I think this is going to be a fun league for him. So he's, seeing him on film is a little scary when you're about to go against him. And seeing him up close, once he gets more time with his teammates and relationships build, he's going to be an impressive player in this league.
Coach, this evening, Maggie McKeithen, our friend, was honored. Any words about her? I know you, like many of us, it's a tremendous loss, but would you speak about her, please, sir?
It's just horrific when I heard the news, and I've only been here a year, so I don't want to pretend I was closer to Maggie than. But I mean, just what an energy she had last year, and especially during the run, she was just such a lovely person, and I am just so sorry for her family and friends and what they're going through. It was a nice honor tonight, but. It's just horrific. It's horrific, and I know, speaking to a lot of people that have known her for a long time, what I saw in 1 year and what a special person she was not a facade. She's the real deal, and I think everybody's going to miss her, and especially you guys in your community. It's a big loss. So I'm sorry here, and of course their family and friends.
How you doing, Coach? The team has played 4 games in the last 2 weeks. Do you think they show fatigue in this game?
No. I actually don't think that was an issue. We rotated. There was, the guys that had a lot of minutes, Griffin, Mika, I didn't see fatigue tonight. That's a credit to sports science and maybe rotating some guys. So that wasn't the problem. Physically, mentally, I don't know. Maybe I'll look back at the game. Maybe there was a little bit of that mental fatigue, and coming off of a big win, right, against St. Louis and getting through that, maybe there was a little bit of a lull there. But these guys give everything. Every guy on that field, in that locker room, they give. They're selfless, and they're going to fight. It's just, again, it wasn't the night that went our way, and we did. Again, I keep saying it. We didn't make the plays that mattered, and we found a way to lose the game instead.